Okay, today I'm creating a demo video for my lesson entitled Exploring Other Religions and Cultures Through Ritual. I'm choosing to focus on the ritual of Chinese lanterns made for the Chinese New Year, the end of the Chinese New Year, made for the Lantern Festival there. So I will be demoing today how to add meaning to making a version of a Chinese lantern. Okay. So, I'm going to be focusing on the roles that art play in the ritual and how I can make this piece of art that's part of the ritual specific to me and add meaning to it in that way. Okay, so in my lesson, students will choose any culture or ritual that they want and research it and find an object or a piece of art, a pattern, a symbol, and make it their own in order to make their own activity and add meaning to it, and then share it with the class. And their goal is not to change the object's purpose in the ritual, but just to add meaning to it, and also to be sensitive to sacred objects, not changing the meaning of those and not Americanizing them in order to avoid offending other cultures, to do their best to not do that. Okay, so for my ritual, Chinese lanterns are used to protect the people who make them and hang them for this festival. So I made a list of things that I wanted to protect in order to add meaning to my Chinese lantern. A lot of times the history of the Chinese lantern is that it is supposed to, Chinese people believe that it'll protect them from evil spirits, and it is supposed to represent fire. The lanterns are supposed to look like fire in order to ward away spirits, evil spirits. So this is the base I have for my lantern. It's just a mason jar, and it's got some yellow tissue paper in it, and I will be putting this little fake flame in the tissue paper to create kind of a fire look. And then I've already prepared a piece of red construction paper that I've cut at all different places. I'm going to wrap that around it to really show how it looks like fire. And then the mason jar lid has a hole in the top and just chains attached to it. We'll screw on the top and allow it to be hung. So the way that I'm going to add meaning to this is I've researched symbols. You can see here I've made a list of all of the things that I would want to protect, and I put symbols next to them. Often I use Chinese symbols in order to stay with the cultural norm there. And I made a bunch of different symbols ones that spoke to me that I thought were good. And I will be inscribing them onto my red lantern film here with gold paint pen, in order to not make it the main part of the lantern, but just if people looked closer, they could see them, and I know that the personal meaning is there for my lantern. Okay, so the first one that I'm going to do is family, and I've chosen to do the Chinese symbol for family and to draw a tree, just like a family tree. And I'm going to put these I want to do one symbol on the lantern for one thing. I don't want to repeat the symbol because I just don't think that that's necessary. So I'm going to do my best to do the Chinese symbol for family. Okay, and I'll show you what I have here. That's my Chinese symbol that I drew, and then I'll draw a tree. Alright, I'm just continuing on making my lantern here. The earth is another object I wanted to protect, and I found a couple cool symbols for that, so I want to put a couple of them. One is the Earth Chinese symbol, and the other ones are symbols that represent fire, water, earth, and air, and I thought that those would be really cool to add. So I'm going to put those on my lantern here. I just did the Chinese symbol for Earth. The last thing that I wanted to do was freedom, and I thought that a bird represented freedom well, and it also ties into the animal aspect that I wanted to do. So I'll draw a bird on here. I think if I can try to do kind of like a bird with its wings spread, that would be most effective. So just looking for a space here. Okay, so it's a really abstract version of a bird, but that's my symbol for freedom and animals there. So now that I have my Chinese lantern with added meaning, I will wrap it around here, find a way to stick that on, and it'll just add a little bit of a personal meaning to my Chinese lantern. Alright, I just wanted to show you the final product here. So here's my lantern with all of my symbols on it, and I will go ahead and add the light to the top there, and there you have it. Alright, thanks.